Land leader shock +3, fire damage -5 because they're gnolls. Shock damage received -30, shock damage +35. Yeah, Wyvern Riders of Vern +20%, plus the Knowledge Military +10. So Vern's units are going to hit really hard during the shock phases. And Phoenix Empire's Askar Militia are not very resistant to shock. The Sun Elven Officers would have been the best unit for that. Though obviously that's... Miltech 26 is still a ways off. Do you happen to have any shock damage received reductions? 10%. And here we go, we're about to have the first battle. It's in the mountains, which is going to be a -2 for Vern. We've got Ebethil immediately rallying themselves for the fight, and here we go. So 105 discipline against 121 of the Phoenix Empire. The Phoenix Empire, of course, being elves. Get my way. Vern having 200,000 men already. Capture of Ovdal Tunga. Oof, that sucks for a hold. And we should also be looking at the quality of these guys. So 6-2 fire. Right, of course. So because they have the powder gnolls, they've switched out fire instead of shock, which actually for their model army is a bad thing. So this is potentially when Vern is at their weakest, militarily speaking. And damage done and received is actually roughly equal. So this is going to be purely down to manpower. It's a war of attrition. So Phoenix Empire there in the north, moving troops in to reinforce. A secondary Vern army did cut off one of the Phoenix Empire armies, but is unable to get at these guys, but that is it. And Vern still has... oh no, that's it for both sides. I mean, Vern still has 100k to bring in if they wanted to, and it looks like they do. See, this is when you really want the Ovdal Kanzad backline helping you out. I don't know what's happened to those condottieri though. Alright, can I actually go back on these now? That would be nice. Okay. I wonder how many troops are being lost in this battle. Vern taking 4,000 damage there per tick. Ouch. At the moment, Vern being worse off. We've got Verkal Gulen coming in with a last second reinforce, which they may not actually need. And there we go. Vern is sent packing. Their artillery is in the front line. They're losing 3,000 per tick. And that is a victory for the Phoenix Empire. But at what cost? 2.5% war score, 319,000 against 435. So even though they're outnumbered by 100,000, because their 40,000 got intercepted, they still won. So that Phoenix Empire discipline, it's just that Elven discipline is really tough. It's going to be really hard for the Phoenix Empire to keep this up as they have no spare manpower and will have to slacken. They can't even slacken. Huzzah! Phoenix Empire is completely tapped. They are almost entirely reliant on mercenaries at this point, and those mercenaries will eventually run out of manpower themselves. And Turkal just declared war on them. Oh, it's the East! These guys just declared war on them. Interesting. They're now fighting a war on 3 fronts. Now we just need a Danica and Marhold to declare on Krionvar. This time it is Ebethil taking the -2, Highlands and a river crossing against Vern. I think this was a bad move for them. They should pull out of this fight. They can't afford these big negatives. They just can't. I would retreat that one before you take too many casualties, personally. Igel, how are you doing? Thank you very much for the 36-month primary subscription. That is a 3-year resubscription. Congratulations on earning those pink wings? Or is it purple? I think 3 years is pink and then 4 years is purple. Thank you very much for the ongoing support, Igel. Hope you're doing good. We need to play some games soon. They'll need to devolve manpower in provinces to regain manpower that way. Well, again, I don't think that many of their armies are actually armies. Oh no, they have a couple. But 21 regiments, 2,900 manpower in it. Are you over your force limit by any chance? No, you're not actually. Do you have any mercenaries left to recruit? Nope. So everything you can recruit is now in the field. That's it. That's the end. Meanwhile, Soldier Sat is slowly retaking their territories. Krionvar is staying out here protecting the entrance into the mountains, which is of course the entrance into their realm. Feels weird to say the entrance to the Elven realm is through the mountains, but it is. In hindsight, they should have pieced out Soldier Sat. They would have become too big a threat. Yeah, but I kind of wonder if Soldier Sat is just saying no. And now Sir Oakley is in Vanrahar. Vanrahar is still is a Phoenix Empire vassal. So Vanrahar is the one that stands to lose the most from this war against the Eastern Powers. Although it actually looks like they've already pieced out. Soldier Sat probably just went, fine. Get off my back. Sorry, not Soldier Sat. Phoenix Empire. So what did they lose out here? Nothing? Doesn't look like they lost anything. Nope, got another battle. So this is a very, very active combat zone. They really need to be working a bit better with Ovdal Khanzad, because if Ovdal Khanzad was bringing in the artillery, they would lose, for themselves, minimal numbers of soldiers, because artillery does not get attacked until the front line is entirely dead. As long as you time the retreats right, you're fine. And otherwise, that back line just keeps on firing, and keeps on firing, and keeps on firing. But they're just not reinforcing quickly enough. Don't do this. You've already lost. You have no artillery. Now you're just throwing men into the fight. The only one that could save this would be Ovdal Khanzad. Oh dear! Stopped it by a dismissive wave of the hand because he's a legendary at abjuration. Oh, nice. I've never seen that before. I mean, I've seen straight bullet hits rulers, and that's a mage ruler. That's a bad thing. But because he's a legendary abjurer, I think he survived. We didn't get... Yeah, he did. He's only 89. That's a really, really good mage. But at some point, and we're at that point, it becomes very dangerous to send ruler mages into the battle, because those events happen with increasing frequency with the more gunpowder weapons on the battlefield. That's a lot of forts that Vern has, blimey. I wonder how many he's actually kept leveling up though. So that's 50,000 against 70,000. I think he just moved in that second army just to give him the opportunity to retreat if he needed to. I think they're suffering a player equivalent of a coalition. Yeah, I would agree. Danica, 100,000 manpower. Marhold, 44,000. I wonder if those two would be in a position to go after Kryenvar. If they brought Arboran in on their side, they probably would. If it was these three. Who's Arboran allied with these days? Kryenvar. Of course they are. Oh, Phoenix Empire has surrendered to Eberthil. To Eberthil. They're going to continue fighting Soldier-Sat. Interesting. Vern is not a country, Vern is the Maginot Line. No, that particular one goes to Jaberd. The entire country of Jaberd is just forts. And they're all... well, they were all max level. Has he deleted a bunch? He has. It used to be that every single province in Jaberd had a fort. But it looks like he's deleted a bunch. Arboran also has his northern shield. Jaberd is AI. Yeah, so they are. Right, because the Jaberd player moved to another of the big nations because they needed a substitute. I didn't think the AI deleted forts though. I know they don't upgrade them. I know they don't build them, but I don't think they delete them. That feels like a player action in order to try and build up their economy more. Because forts are expensive, especially the later ones. Ah, Darkfighter used Subjabird last week. Okay. And one way that we can definitely see would be fort level. Yeah, Jaberd's lost all of their forts. They're down to just 3. Big peace deal. Phoenix Empire is like one of the major nations. Guys, come on. Okay, peace has been made, and trying to see what's changed. Thought they might have tried to do something like split Valkor Gulen out from them, but it doesn't look like they've done that. Those are all Wood Elf. Oh, something in here. Yeah, that's what they've lost. Is that one of the trade areas? Yep. They've just taken a whole bunch of centers of trade down the main rivers. Well, that's interesting. I mean, unfortunately there is still a 96% monopoly up there. But that is going to reduce the trading power of the Phoenix Empire quite significantly, because I would imagine that was probably where they were collecting. Okay, Soldier-Sat and Kryenvar are once again Fighting! Soldier Sat does look like they are running out of manpower, however, with Kreinvar bringing in. There is another 74k, which if they sent in right now, would probably be in a position to reinforce and maybe win this fight for them. They are doing so. Oh no, there's some in the south as well. Didn't see them. So Kreinvar sending in the 62k. Soldier Sat just needs to hold for a little bit longer. Okay, the reinforcements arrived. And they do still have a mostly full backline of artillery. No, that is intact. In fact, entirely full backline. Kreinvar has brought in all of their troops. The last 32k of Soldier Sat. It looks like that exceptional Soldier Sat morale is going to hold out here. Yep, Kreinvar has broken, and off they go. AI vassal left. Which one? I just noticed that Phoenix Empire hasn't even upgraded these centers of trades. Like out here they don't need to just because they already control the whole territory, and I guess here as well. Yeah. There definitely needs to be more fragmented nations in this region. Needs to be more of a power struggle. So, Kreinvar still with 193,000 manpower. They can still tick another 2 pips of manpower. Soldier Sat with 194,000, they can do it 3 times. So, it's getting very close between the Wood Elves and Soldier Sat. Phoenix Empire, of course, has nothing. Manpower is pretty much gone. They just have their mercenaries. And in fact, if we take a look at... Well, they do not have a lot of troops left. There, that's a regular army. That's a mercenary with 82. Mercenary with 63. Mercenary with 62. Mercenary with 51. And that's it. And then they're done. They're down to just 213 regiments in the field. Without the potential to recruit more. Although they do seem to actually be recovering general manpower. But it's going to be a slow process to get back up to full levels that they're going to need here. Meanwhile, that's another Indian coalition coming in. The Banjas Bibi Imperial Punitive War. That's an actual coalition. Which actually outnumbers the Phoenix Empire. It's AI, admittedly, but it actually outnumbers them. So Vanrahar might be the one to suffer from this. Man, Vanrahar just can't get a break in this at the moment. But they did have quite a lot of AE over here. Yeah, they had a ton of AE over here. 500. Almost 600. Phoenix Empire has been some bad boys. Seriously. Every U4 player. A is just a number. Hey, Marshall. Meanwhile, Vern is gobbling up Galleon. And Orzamaz Deer Allied to Kreinvar soldiers sat in Bjarnrik, but not brought into any of those wars. In fact, how? Was Oslam Azdir in the war against the Phoenix... Wait, you allied to Phoenix Empire or just Kreinvar? Oh, just Kreinvar. And Kreinvar themselves have not been declared on. It's just been against the Phoenix Empire. And Phoenix Empire, how are you doing financially? Yeah, financially you are totally fine. Like, absolutely zero problems with that. Especially now that your army seems to be shrinking. Meanwhile, Soldier Sat just sent another Phoenix Empire army packing, and they're going to be on the verge of actually going after Soldier Sat after Phoenix Empire territory. Like, the whole plains have already been retaken. Oh no, sorry, not the whole thing. I had not clicked away from the coalition map mode. Meanwhile, Iriliam and Elisner forces marching out. Van Rahar doing their bit over there, taking some forts. Meanwhile, Segdir and the Grudge Bearers going after Verkal Gulen. Although Gulen's just sieged down Segdir proper. I mean, what he could be doing is trying to bribe other players to declare war on his rivals. Like, say to Ardenica, I'll pay you and Marhold 50 ducats each a month if you declare war on the Wood Elves. Wait, why would he do that? The Wood Elves are on his side. Never mind. Because there's nobody else that can really get to Soldier Sat. Here's the problem here. Katarata's raising quite a large army there. Anyway, I just need to take a very quick minute break, so just give me a... Okay, I'm back. Immediately find a piece of my beard in my mouth. That's not very nice. Okay, so iron ore problems coming in. We've got Segdir fighting against Verkal Gulen. And it looks like Verkal Gulen's going to send packing. They were indeed. Meanwhile, some more realm magic coming in. Probably another abjuration. What spells does he actually have? War magic. Becomes more and more risky as you approach the early modern warfare, which they are very much in. Evocation. Is that improving his ruler's combat skill? Like, what's that actually do? Ah, there it is. Morale of armies plus 5% and then shock damage plus 20 for a year. And that's because they're about to launch an attack into here. Okay, so it is a -2 for Soldier Sat as they are now fighting in the mountains. However, Phoenix Empire just does not have enough morale to really match up to this. 5.8 morale against 8.3. 110 discipline against 121. They do have reinforcements coming in, but they just don't have very many troops anymore. And that 44k stack probably needs to get moving now. Unfortunately, the Phoenix Empire's back line's already dead. Like, one thing I will say negative about Phoenix Empire, I love the fact that he's fighting on. He's giving this as good a shot as he can. He's not very good at timing those reinforcements. Because it keeps on happening that his back line breaks. And again, that next 44k, slow. Stray bullet hits Calendal again. War magic's dangerous now. So what kind of a mage is this guy? Because clearly his abjuration's very, very strong. Oh, I can't see. I can't see it. That's unfortunate. Soldier Sat coming in with another 30k stack, and there's just nothing here. That's it. Lost 150,000. You know what he could do? Phoenix Empire has a bucket load of money. Just build 1,000,000 forts. Just fort. And just make yourself an absolute pain to invade. And that just buys you some time to replenish your numbers. Because, like, Phoenix Empire isn't a bad nation. They generate 4.4 thousand soldiers a month. And their mercenaries will also be regenerating manpower per month. He's just fighting too many wars and too many fronts with too many losses. Meanwhile, Kryenvar is still giving it a solid crack against Soldier Sat over here. 200,000 against 135. Soldier Sat having plenty of soldiers in the bank to bring in. Van Rahar coming in to reinforce as well. Oh no, sorry, Spider Wretch. Spider Wretch. Does he have time to make them? I mean, he did. It's taken Soldier Sat quite a long time to push through the passes to get down to him. He hasn't upgraded his forts either? Well, that's just asking for trouble. Like, forts are so important in this game. Like, yeah, manpower and troops are good. So are forts. Forts are a force multiplier. They're very important. That's another 60,000 soldiers sat. Kryenvar coming in with another 35. So despite the fact that they are fighting with 320,000 against 150, it looks like Soldier Sat they just have so many troops. Now this is forcing them to pull men away from the Phoenix Empire front. This would be the Phoenix Empire's opportunity to build some forts. Like, yeah, it will take longer than this, but Kryenvar is being a pretty effective distraction on the flank. That buys you time. And Soldier Sat, how are you doing? You are down to 14%. If you hire a general, then you can basically pip 3 times. And Kryenvar is down to 13. Hire 2 generals, you would have 15 as well. Wait, is it 1 per general? I think it is.